Hello, welcome to McBoss Capital channel. In this video, we will be talking about some of the growth stocks list I follow. My name is Michael Chu. Welcome. If you have never seen this spreadsheet before, it's basically my list that I track since October 9th, based on that time frame to now. Right now it's December 13, and we have seen some deterioration in some of the growth stocks here. In particular, this column here will show whether they're in the uptrend or downtrend based on the short-term 10-day, 21-day. You can see when I count this number is about 50 stocks in an uptrend, which means they're above the 10 and 21-day moving average. If I look at downtrend, so looking at the downtrend, you can see there's 192 versus 50. So a lot of stocks have gone into a downtrend, and I think we need to be a little bit more cautious as growth stocks are starting to pull back, and some of them already enter like correction territory. So we have to be a little bit careful here. So for example, we have BE Energy, we have App, which is pretty all-star this year. So this stock right here, App Living, is really quite spectacular year. You can see it broke out roughly. Uh, it's probably hard to tell now, but I think $95 or something like that. And now you can see the chart is quite squished at the bottom. After it broke out, from all the way went all the way to above 400 in a very short time period from like September to now. So roughly, it's pretty much the most of this rally, right, since it started. And it was one of the first one that came out, and it was trading pretty tight. You can see it hold the 10-day, and then it kind of come back down below the 10-day a little bit here. That was the earnings news, and then we got this gap up right here. Um, and then from that gap up, it followed through, and look at what happened once it followed through. It kind of went sideways and just keep continuing, and then finally it hit the 10-day here, or like pretty close to it, found support right there, and went up higher. And then from here, we see those ants here. Those are signals by IBD market search chart that show that there's volume coming in as well after a certain number of days. And however, that was near the top, and at least right now, based on this chart, it looks like that is the top. Then we have pullback like on one of the strongest day volume and a really big gap down. And then now we're seeing that it is having trouble near the 10-day moving average. It just couldn't come back above that green line. So there's many stocks that are pulling back, and it just kind of important to understand that when growth stocks go up, we tend to want to chase them, especially if you feel like you missed them big time. I caught very early move. Unfortunately, probably my biggest mistakes here is not to continue to follow the stock, or I keep hesitating to go back in. And that's a lesson learned here. So anyhow, but given the strength here, and then now a lot of people want to chase this stock, and obviously, depending on when you bought this, if you did buy this recently, you may have already be under the water. And you can see like this week, previous week was up, and then this week it kind of came down pretty hard on a gap down, and it basically went below to almost the low of the previous 2 weeks ago. So we'll see what happens when it comes to, like, if it does come down to like further, as the red line, which is the 10-week moving average, catch up. But right now we are 22% from the high. So in just a very few short sessions, like 5 sessions here, you are down 22% from the top. So when growth stocks go up, they can go up very nicely, and but when they go down, they can go down a lot faster, and also not only in terms of speed and time, but also in terms of price as well. So it can come down, quite a bit as well. So we gotta be careful about this stock. Um, I don't own this stock, so I don't have any idea what to do. But if you were to holding this stock, like this low here is very important. If it fell that low, it's probably gonna go to the red line here or somewhere near in the middle. because this stock is so extended. Another stock that also come down pretty hard is Sizzle in the financial service area. It has come down for many days now. You can see the downtrend is so clear. There's no buying whatsoever. It's just lots of distribution. And this stock again, where is squeeze right now? It start running up right here. It's almost so flat there, you can tell, but it did go up significantly there, and then it went up even more here, and then it's very similar to app. It gap up on the earnings, but this one pulled back right away, and then it tries to make a new high. It did make a new high, but then it fell to continue its rally there, and from that it fell pretty hard now. So looking at the weekly chart, it is down like 35%, and this is now 3 weeks down, and we hit the red line. So that's what we expect. We expect growth stocks, when they do correct, probably most of them come back. To come down this list here, we see Exxon also on a downtrend. So right now it has gone up quite significant as well. Again, gap up on the earnings, and then continue its move right here. But then recently you can see there's a big down day right here on a pretty high volume. And then since that day, it hasn't come up above the 10-day moving average. There is news, I'm not sure if it's after hours, that Exxon, Palantir, and MSTR, those three will join NASDAQ 100. So maybe there might be a move on Monday. So let's see how that goes. But right now it's on a it's on a downtrend mode. So we'll see how this turn out. We also have Shopify, also somewhat slipping down as well. You can see here. So right now it's still sitting at the 10 days. So if they break this, probably it will go down faster. But let's see how that goes. Next one also Hubs Spot also look very similar. It's getting rejected at the resistance level here on the downtrend line. So we'll have to watch. Next one is Toast. It has done really well, just like the other guys here. You can see nice up, moving up nicely, gap out on the earnings, follow through here, and then we have this one huge day on volume. So those are sell signals, biggest range, big volume, and then since it came down, again, we tried to come back at the 10-day slope here, and you can see right here clearly it got rejected. So that's not a good sign. So if it break this low right here, it can go down further. Next one I talk about is block or SQ. So this one has a nice breakout right here, really long base. It has one more shakeout right here, and then here was where I first got in. Second buy, buy, fourth buy, fifth buy here. Right now I have exit this stock. It has failed this low right here on this support level. You can see it was hovering around this level here, and then it just broke that on Friday. Thursday was actually, it touches my low there, and I got stopped out, and then Friday it continued further down. So again, a lot of this really strong growth stocks is starting to show symptoms of breaking down, and usually at the beginning it breaks down slowly, but once it pick up momentum, it could really go down really fast. So we have to be very cautious of this type of move. Another stock that has moved up nicely is Spotify. You see it broke out right here, went up slowly, and then it started to pick up momentum, gap up on earnings. After the earnings, it followed through for one day, but then it hasn't really made much of a move. It tried to come out here, but it kind of fell, and you can see it came to the 21-day line. Since that, it has kind of hold that level. However, it is still on a downtrend right now, so we'll see what happens. So this one is Cabana. It did kind of slow breakout as well. It actually fall back right here, and then this was the real move. And then we have this gap up in earnings here. Since the gap up again, it fell back pretty fast. It tries to come out here and it fell. So again, very similar to the last chart. And then now we have this top right here on the slope. And so far, it found support here, but then it hasn't really come back and crossed that downtrend line. So we'll see what happened here. Next, we also have RCL in the downtrend. So this one is slowly coming down. It's trying to find support at this level right here. And if it does fail, yeah, we could go further. This one has come up really nicely, and I have traded a little bit, but I missed most of the gains here. Next we have AZAC. AZAC just recently broke out from this long base right here, and it moves up slightly, and then it kind of fell apart a little bit. Then it starts to go again right here, but then it kind of fall back again. So very volatile. So this is Vistra, VST. Broke out nicely right here, went up pretty fast, and then it start to break down and form kind of a smaller base right here. Then it moves again, breaks out, but it didn't move too much, too far before it start to kind of go sideways. And as it goes sideways, at first, the slope was kind of not too bad. And this one is a very good chart to study because we saw a lot of patterns that look like that, right? Kind of pull back to the moving average, kind of went sideways and trying to find support. And so in this case, it actually fell below that support level. And then once it fell all the way to the 50-day moving average in just 2 days. And then right now, you can see again, we're seeing a lot of similar chart where stocks are not able to come back above their 10-day moving average, which is the green line. So you can see how it got rejected here like 2 times here. So this is not good news, right? So we're seeing a lot of this pattern, which is very not a good indication of support for those stocks. It seems like there's just not enough buyers coming in. Of course, the volume on the sell side is not spectacular or in any way, but that doesn't mean the stock won't go down further. So right now we do see support level at near the 50 days, so that's a very important level. If it does fall apart below that, it could go down a lot further. So another stock that has fallen is Duolingo. You see right here, right now on the chart, it looks pretty fine. Like it moves up nicely after this breakout right here. Goes up and then went sideways. So this is healthy, went sideways, but then it started to pull back more, and then it finally bounced again. So this one is a little bit more volatile, as you can see, but it did eventually move and slowly moving up, and then here was where it fell this 10-day moving average, and it broke that pretty hard. Not sure if there's any news, but it looks like it's a big move here. Now, so far it has tried to hold, but you can see it's not even coming back to the green line. It's like just trying to hold the 21-day right now, which is starting to slope down in a pretty steep curve, like 45-degree angle. So this is right now looking not very good. Next is Delta Airline. I did pretty well with this one. I was able to catch it on the breakout right here, and then you can see it move up, went sideways, and then bounce and add more and add more here and add more here. But finally, after this sideways movement, it kind of tried to come out, but it just didn't have enough power. It just lost its momentum and reversed. And from that day onward, I basically got stopped out around that level, and you can see it's starting to lose momentum and actually falling faster. So I'm not going to be able to go through all this, but there's a significant amount of stocks that are in downtrend. This is not my kind of environment, as I'm more diversified investor, and the market breadth is definitely getting a lot worse. Whether this will turn into a full-blown correction, I'm not sure. But at least at this moment, seeing all the stocks starting to go down, and so many of them really worries me. And that's when stocks start to go down, especially growth stocks, they can go down a lot faster. So I'm not I don't hold through corrections. I'm not that kind of investor. So with that being said, obviously I either get stop out or I'll be trimming it as it comes down. And so I don't have as many stocks left. But with that being said, there's still opportunity in some areas, and we can look at that. We'll look at one more stock on the downside is Kava. This stock was talked about quite a bit on IBD Live. I know some of the people there are still holding this. You can see it we have this high here, and it came back down very fast. That was a very negative, right? Thing that it reversed, and so that being said, so let's start fresh from here. It's trying to move out and move out, but you can see it was really lacking power because it just holding really tight. Now tightness is a good thing, but the fact that it came down so fast here and kind of formed like almost like an L-shaped pattern, that's a very bearish pattern. But anyhow, here is when it tried to move out, and I did try to get in a small position to test it out. It fell pretty fast, like within 2 days it fell, and then from that day on, you can see that they fell really hard on high volume right there. So and then since that time, you can see it just start going down really fast now. So this is the kind of action that can happen when growth stock start breaking a key level, like especially the low of the previous time here, and now it's accelerating going down. It's a very steep slope. So again, we have to be careful in these times right now. So there is still some stocks doing well, still some opportunity, but however, like I said, if not this one, but the previous week we talked about how we don't see many stocks hitting relative strength high. We don't see many stocks hitting new high as well. So now after this week, it got even worse, right? In terms of those stats. So, but there are still some that did well this week. For example, Reddit is still holding on. So let's just take a quick look at the chart right here. You can see if after this one day, big day down on Tuesday, it did rebound and try to find support. Now, we gotta be careful because like most of these stocks are very extended. So how much more can they go up? I have no idea, but right now it looks like it wants to move up. The volume is really, low, so doesn't really mean much to me at this point. But it could slowly come back up and continue and even do a strong climax run here, right? Before it finally top. So we'll see. There's a lot of news about Reddit, how they're doing really well and so forth. So that stock could continue running. Next one is Credo. Credo also pulled back right here. You can see on Tuesday also make that low right there. The volume was high, but it wasn't the highest. And then it kind of lingered for 2 days, trying to find support, and then the selling starting to come down a little bit. And then Friday we have this huge volume and propel it to higher. So showing lots of strength there. Next we have ALAB. This one has done really well. It broke out right here on the earnings, and then it kind of pulled back. Let's pull back. That was my first entry point, and then I have another entry point right there. Right now it is moving up again. We talked about this in the main market video. It hasn't crossed the top channel line yet, so but it looks like it wants to now, right? It's starting to curve upward, so we'll see. I might have to sell into strength here. Then we have ML, XMTR, SOFI, Palantir, CLS. CLS has been doing really well. I was trading most of this up to here, but it kind of reversed right here. That's when it knocked me out. And at this moment, I haven't chased back into it. Perhaps I should, but it did make a new high on Friday. Given the market conditions right now, with so many growth stocks pulling back, I'm a little bit hesitant to chase any stocks that even though they bounce on the pullback at this moment, just because they're very extended, right? So if the market conditions do deteriorate further, I do expect stocks like this and others to maybe go sideways. Even if they don't come down, they might go sideways a little bit. So let's see how that goes. But I'm not being aggressive at all trying to enter any entry point right now on stocks. Again, I did trade most of this run here, except right now I think they're quite extended. So next we have Hood still doing well, Marvel still doing well, OLO, GTLS, TWLO. So TWLO is another stock that I've been trading. You can see this was a huge earning gap up and it followed through. That was my first entry point, and then came down here, pulled back, and I got into it here, and then got into it here, and here we got into it again. And you can see so far it hasn't given me any sell signals, and this is the upper channel line roughly. It did kind of extend it right there a little bit, and then right now it still look okay. The volume on the sell side is also not too high, so we'll try to continue to hold this as long as I can. Next we have KD, Globe, RVLV, SITM, ALK, UNFI, AAL, AVGO we talked about in the main market video, SNCY, TTMI. RH came out pretty strong on earnings on Friday here. This was a very big move. This stock is very choppy, right? You can see right here, very choppy. So I just didn't want to trade this stock because even though it came out really nice on the weekly chart, it did clear a pretty long base here. So hence the huge move. Um, and earnings are really rocking right now. So I would usually get into stocks like this, even though it's a little bit more volatile, given the strength that it did on Friday. But like I said, the market conditions are a little bit tough to trade right now. I'm gonna be less aggressive. So then we have YMM, LPLA, GGAL, NARI, REVG, WK, QFIN, Jeffrey, PRMB, NTES, MASI, Way, Amazon still doing good, SEIC, ALKT, TGLS, ARM also doing well right now, OWL, YELP, ARES, Workday, Azure, STT, Apple, HAYW, TSM. So these are the uptrend list that I have. Again, it's very concerning to me that so many growth stocks have gone into a downtrend. I would be more cautious because at the beginning it might go down slow, but if it does go into a bigger pullback or correction, we could see growth stocks fall even faster. So I'm hoping it will bounce this week with the Fed news. Hopefully they will stay more dovish and not try to scare the market. But let's see how it goes. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you like it, enjoy it. Please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.